Hey.
You scared the rest of them off, Susie?
Yeah, probably.
Probably they've gone, no.
Exactly.
Just the diehards in the room.
Yes.
Yeah, I know more diehards are joining us. Cool.
Hope everyone's got to stretch their bodies, get some food, get a stretch. At least you don't have to wear a mask. That's good.
I passed so many caravans coming up last night.
Oh, the big rush to get back home for people.
We'll get out of the Perth.
Oh, really?
We're all coming back up, yeah. So many.
Okay.
It's like continuous.
Wow.
So I just hope none of them are bringing it up here.
Hope not. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully the rest of them will be coming in quickly. What else have I got? We've got Aaron and we've got, who else? Luce, Damien, good, Damien's here. Chris, you're coming in twice. One's a phone and one's a computer. Maybe?
I'm just trying to sort out the other issue I had this morning.
Okay, no worries. We've got John. Tanya's coming in. Lute's coming in. You're coming back. Coming in. Aaron, good.
Yep.
Catherine's here. Cool. Just waiting on Gary and Mark.
Paul, at the beginning, Catherine shared that she had a big aha moment between day 1 and 2 of her business. So that was pretty exciting. Her face was glowing.
Glowing with opportunity, is that right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which I like.
Awesome stuff.
I like that. That's pretty exciting.
You just never know when it's going to happen though, do you?
No.
But you know it's going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's good. So now, before we get started, I'm just going to do a quick recap of where we were at, and I just want to get clear on where everyone else is at. So I've got lots of things on this screen. I've got the Zoom, I've got the slideshow, I've got the preview. It's like, whoa. Yeah. Okay. So this was where we wanted to get to. We wanted to get to a profit where we can see what success looks like in our business. So how far, I want 2 questions. I want to know how far everyone away is from this model of success. I also want to know what are some of the big learnings. We spent 2 hours on numbers, and a lot of you, that was a scary thought, and a lot of you are really hurt. And, you know, I totally get that. You know, I was in small business myself, and for a very long time, and you know, I did like numbers, but I didn't understand them as well as I could have. And I think I remember, you know, with Paul being accounting background, when we first started coaching a decade ago, I remember Paul saying, "Can you tell me about this profit and loss? What does it mean?" Do you remember that? I'm like, just what does it mean? I don't get it. So it's the same with everything, that we don't know what we don't know. If we haven't learned it yet, you don't have to feel bad about not knowing it. So it's about what's come to light over the last couple of hours about the numbers, and have you got to this point? So they're the 2 questions that I want to know. What have you gleaned about the numbers in your business, and are you at this point or not yet? Because I just need to know, so I know who we can help and what breakout rooms we need to do and who we can help to get there. So who's first on my screen on the bottom here? Lisa, what about you? What's your learnings from what we've gone through? Oh, she ran away when I mentioned her name.
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, you jumped up the top. How did you do that?
I've got a, you know, it's like you have, kids, they leave home. Now I've got a puppy who just says, "No, enough of this sitting at the bloody computer." She's just pulling at me going, "I want you to go right now."
That's gorgeous. That's very nice. So what's been learning, and where are you up to with this?
So with me for learning, I've learned, I mean, I think I just need to do how I put in my goods, what they actually are, and it's like a per item or something that if it's repeatable, like the other one would be to put in, that one would be it. Now, so once I've done that, I've got my costs in, and then it's probably just, so I'm probably still half an hour off if I can get rid of the puppy. If I can get rid of the puppy.
Yep, that's fine. We've got plenty of time to work this out yet. So we're going to go into the next section in a minute, and then what we'll do is we'll have the last hour where everyone just tidies up everything, and I'm just checking. Lu's just having problems with her laptop. Okay, she's coming in. So then you'll have time to answer any questions and tidy everything up. So we've got strategy section next, and then we'll all tidy up.
Okay, thank you.
So who else? Who's next? Who's down the row here? We've got Aaron, you're next. So what's been a big eye opener for you with the numbers?
Just looking at the bottom dollar, basically, just getting a better awareness of charging and pricing, and just taking out the guesswork. And numbers, when you see them, then they can't lie. So just that bottom line, that's been a big takeaway.
Yep. Okay, that's great. And how far off are you from getting to the happy place of getting to seeing what success looks like for you?
Well, I'm happy with my profit and loss. It's just making it really stick. But in terms of increasing sales, increasing margins, then I'm pretty happy with how my success looks over the next 5 years with the profit and loss and the balance statements.
Great, good. That's good. So better than the last 5 years, I hope. We want to go forward. So that's
most definitely.
Good. Okay, Damien, what's been your big learnings around numbers or ahas or eye openers? Just unmute yourself.
I'm still just trying to work out the figures because it wasn't showing the salary in the profit and loss.
Okay. So try putting it to year 1. They might have been year 0.
Yeah, it was. I've just changed it to 0, 1, and now I think it's coming through.
So that's a good trick.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So a bit of research there. So
Yeah.
have you got to the happy success, profit and loss yet?
Hang on a minute. I think so. I think it's all good.
Good. I love that. Wonderful. All right, great. John, you're next to Damien on my screen. Any big learnings around the numbers?
Yeah, I feel there's parts of it that I feel that there's a bit of guesswork that doesn't need to be guesswork.
Yes.
Like when I'm got a product that I price per square meter, and I'm saying, well, this much is my cost of it, and this much is my charge out rate.
Yep.
At the moment, it's a bit of guesswork. I'm just putting a figure in for the cost per square meter, where I know I can get more detailed on it, but I'm not sure how to do that with the program.
Okay. Yep.
And then there's a lot of other figures that I'm going, well, have I put that in the right place, or how, yeah, there's a lot to figure out or to put into this program and yeah, it'd be nice to have someone over the back of my shoulder going, this is where you need to touch up and that sort of thing.
Okay.
But
We'll do
yeah.
that. That's fine. We've got time to do that. So that's fine. That's what we're here for. So that's no problems at all. We will get there. Don't you worry. And I think it's great that you've got all these questions, because by having the questions, that, it means that you're investigative, that word, I can't even get it out. And then the answers will come. So it's not having the interest that's the problem. But
certainly, this is a great tool for investigating the new avenue that I want to do with this other business.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, it's like there's lots of questions that I can get him to answer onto this platform that will make it clearer for both of us.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, one of the workshops not long ago, we had a guy in, and it was the 4th time he'd done the business model with a 4th different business. And he said, every time I start a new business, I just use this platform. It's the best way to do it.
Is it possible to have a second platform?
Yeah, you can buy another username and login. That's fine. So that's easy.
Is that a new purchase? Is it?
Yes, but it's not a new 2-day workshop if you want to do it yourself. But he in particular, this guy starts businesses and hires GMs to partner, and he brings them into the 2 days with him. So they go through the 2 days to create the plan together, to create this model together. So, but then other people just want to have a different business that they can work on. So you're not quite there, but we'll work on it. Rick, how are you? What's your biggest learnings around the numbers since we heard our brains for a couple of hours, bashing them?
No, it's just good to see it all in front of me again. So, well, one thing that I'm not quite understanding. So on cash flow, I'm starting year 1 as in a negative, but then year 2, 3 is quite positive.
Have you entered your opening balances of your
No, I haven't done. Yes, I thought it might have been.
Yeah, that's all it will be.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and because all the big jigsaw pieces aren't in there yet. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll work on that. But what's been the biggest learning around the numbers?
The potential opportunities and what if we turn certain things on that I've been talking about doing for too long and not actually done, the opportunity there.
Small tweaks.
Yeah.
You'll have more confidence with understanding the numbers in doing strategies, because you have the knowledge to back those decisions.
Yeah. So it'll give me some confidence to go and go on some things that I've been talking about doing for a while. Yeah. Because I can see that there's good opportunity there for us to turn that into dollars.
Yeah. Which is great. And that's when we do want to do decisions, how do we when we want to do strategies and branch out, how do we give ourselves that confidence? Well, by understanding the numbers and understanding what's involved.
So I've created potential positions there in the salaries there for a second technician, a second accessories person, and then turn them on in later years.
Brilliant.
To go so that it should show that.
Yep.
as we grow, obviously, then we're going to need more people to be able to
Yep.
to handle that extra work. So that's
And a
what I'm doing now.
Beautiful, beautiful showroom as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So that's good. Okay, brilliant. Belinda, what's been your biggest learning so far in the last couple of hours of hurting brains?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still not there yet. I'm still plugging through it because I don't have that information.
Yep.
So I'm not sure whether I'm supposed to be going which way or what, just a bit. I just need some time to have a look at what I've done, and
It's all right. We've got the rest of the day to help you, and we're here to help you either way. But I honour you for being honest to say you don't know yet, and a lot of people are like that, and that's why getting to that point of I don't knowing is a really good point to get to, because then you need to learn more. There's more opportunities. And the great thing about doing this in a group, no one's alone. It's this big mystique behind businesses. We get paid by cash, yet people don't understand their numbers. And so everybody has a different level of understanding, but I think we're all the same, where we're always learning more. We're always a work in progress in our understanding our business numbers till the day we sell it, till the day we die, or till the day we sell it. We're always working on it and always trying to improve it and tweak it and better it and understand it more. But having that awareness that you need to understand more or want to is a great place to get to.
yeah,
Because it's when the people have their head in the sand and have no idea, then there's no hope, because they're not going to go down that road. So well done. So we will get there. Don't you worry. We'll get there. Catherine, what about you? What's been your biggest learning so far with these numbers side of things?
Okay. Well, I like the software, and so I can work out what to put in, how to input it in. That's good. Look, the expense side, I already knew because I do that already.
Good girl. Yeah.
But I do it on Excel spreadsheets, so it takes a lot more time. When I do jobs, I do a profit and loss per job, so I have an idea of costs there anyway. So with me, yes, I've got more information to physically input. The income side, will have to be completely redone, because as I said, I've now scrapped all my products, services and packages and have to start fresh. And I have to find out what that is and how much it costs and who's going to be working with, and completely fresh. So so expenses I'm quite happy with. I wasn't surprised there, but it's the income. Yes.
Good. That's exciting. That's very exciting. And so how far are you from getting away from the happy profit and loss place?
Me, well, it's not accurate figures at the moment, because the income side really is not. I've put in estimates more, and products I put in yesterday, I'm like, I probably won't do those now. But I don't know. So until I can get the income side with some idea there. But the other side, I'm happy with.
It's good.
It's accurate. Yeah.
That's good. I'm pleased.
Thank you.
Who else have we got here? Chris, what's been the biggest learning, and where are you at right now?
I still need to go through and add in a lot more information. I've sort of missed a few patches.
Okay.
So as I'm starting to catch up and go from there.
Okay, good. All right. So a bit more, and we're still working, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Guys, Mark, Gary, Mark.
Cowan, what I'm seeing is with the vision, part of the vision is, in my vision, was to get an employee eventually, 2 or 3 years down the track, but you need to see a fairly big step change in the income to support that.
Yep.
So it's more of a forecast of what needs to be in place before you go ahead with it.
It's a calculated, educated, planned goal.
Yes. So it's definitely estimated.
Yeah.
So you could probably only do the figures otherwise you're going to end up with a negative on your profit and loss, which is not ideal. So you've got to probably have your income supporting the extra employee, don't you?
Absolutely.
But it's a forecast, so you obviously have to tweak some figures to get it to look. I mean, that's good because you can see where you need to be before you even think about putting on that.
Exactly. And someone needs to be accountable for getting those sales increases, and someone needs to be accountable for the strategies on how you're going to increase those sales.
Yeah, and that's all part of the actions coming out of this 2-day workshop. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So it's putting your whole business together as one, you know, as one plan that's a growing, moving plan where all parts affect the other, rather than be separate.
And I can see it moving. So if the vision was within 2 years start employing people, then that may need to move, but that there's a easy bit of software that you can do those adjustments to suit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
So with the group that we updated when they were 3/4 way through the year, where most of them had already achieved their 12-month target, when they updated their plan, they all pushed ahead even more because they said, well, we've already hit our 12-month goal in 9 months. So our projections for next year, let's up them a bit.
Yep. Yep.
Because things changed. Okay, great. Tanya, where are you at? You were working hard on your numbers and your model. What's been your big learning and where are you at?
I think my numbers are all wrong.
Yeah, well, that's a good learning.
Completely wrong.
Yeah, that's a good learning because there's some work then.
It's pretty much negative everywhere. I'm like, what?
Okay.
For the rest of the 5 years, it's all just showing me negative. So I've definitely not put in some figures right here.
Okay, so we'll help you. That's fine. We will help you. Don't worry. That is not a good idea. That little minus number down the bottom, we don't want that. Okay. So we will help you. So a big learning as far as numbers goes.
I have to get my head around what is supposed to work and not work here.
Yep. What success looks like. Yep. Yeah. Perfect. Love it. Great. Okay. Thank you. Lewis, where are you at as far as your big learning from the numbers side that you've gleaned so far? And where are you at? Have you got your profit and loss looking good yet? Unmute yourself.
Not looking great. I'm just all over the place at the moment. I'm just kind of confused because just the numbers bit. I just quite understand that. So I'm just learning as the process goes on.
We will help you. Don't you worry. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. So at the moment, you're still a bit confused. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's fine. We'll unconfuse you as best we can.
Sounds great.
Don't worry. It's a good thing to be at because it means you're inquisitive. So I'm going to move on to the next section. So we've got a bit of a break of our brains, and then we will all go into being able to review and tweak everything. And that's when I can come and help people with what they're needing help with. So I'm going to move here. Can everyone see my screen now? Yep, so we've gone past. These are the reports that we want to be very familiar with how success looks like for us. And then as you can see, whoops, there's a dashboard here, which you can have a look at some charts as well. Once you've got to your happy place, your dashboard. But now we want to look at saying, how can we leverage the business? You know, one of the most important business secrets here in business that I think is something that people don't utilize is how we can leverage our business best. So we're wanting to get more money and have more time, but with less work. So when we look at that, we've got a chassis of a business. So say we've got the chassis of a car, using that as the analogy. When we look at the chassis of a car or the chassis of a VW or a Porsche, it's exactly the same. It doesn't make any difference. It's still got the same chassis. But what we're doing is looking at the business chassis and saying, okay, what's the chassis of your business? So having some numbers in that, we look at saying, how many leads are you actually getting in the business? And every year this might be, or every month, or every week, depending on your business. These are just examples of numbers to play with. So say we say 4,000. and we're converting 25% of that. That gives us 1,000 customers. And then from those 1,000 customers, they all do 2 transactions each, which has an average dollar sale of 100, which gives us 200K of revenue. And then we've got a margin of 25%. So 25% we get to keep, 75% goes to buy the products or services, 50K on the bottom line as your profit. So say these were your numbers in your business. What we want to look at doing when we look at strategies is say, okay, what would happen if we just focused on increasing each one of these just by 10%? Just 10%, that's all we were looking at. So we looked at increasing leads by 10% to give us 4,400. We looked at the conversion rate of increasing that just 10% to give us a slight increase. But look what's happened here. Because of the compounding, we've ended up getting 1,210 customers. Instead of just 10% more, instead of 11,000, we've got 1,210, and that's just because of the compounding side of things. So then again, we're just going to increase the number of transactions just by 10%. So we're doing different strategies to increase that, and the average dollar sale the same. So now what we've done is we've gone from a revenue of 200K and we've upped that now to 292,820. So what we've done is we've really increased that by a massive amount, just by very small percentages in each one of these key areas. Going further down, we look at the margin, increasing that just by 10%. So we've now got profits here of 80,000. And it's just very, very small tweaks, very small strategies in each area. So what have we essentially done? We've got a 46% increase in your revenue, and we've got a 61% increase in your profits. Now, if we did that in all of our businesses, what would that mean to us? That would be huge, absolutely huge. But we're just really focusing on the key strategies in these pressure points of your business that are going to give you the best bang for your buck. So, and that's why we have to do the numbers first, because then when we look at the numbers, we can see, okay, where are the best areas that we can work to give us the best opportunities. So just for fun, if we doubled them, so there's a few businesses in here that you probably could double, that are smaller businesses that haven't, you know, put much effort into some different strategies before, that you could quite easily double what you've done before. So say for fun, let's look at what doubling does. This is the impact of doubling. This is the wow factor. This is the super wow factor. So we've gone from 4,000 to 8,000 leads. So this might be over a year, right? Then we double the conversion rate, going from 25 to 50, because we've got someone looking after the phones. No phone goes missing. We're quoting same day. We're super amazing. Then all of a sudden, we've not got 2,000 customers, we've got 4,000 because of compounding. Then we're going to have double the transactions, because we've got little add-on buttons now. We're following up on calls, we're ringing people back, we're doing all these strategies. We've doubled the average dollar sale because our product's so much better that they're paying more for it. What's happened? 3.2 million now. Now that's just from saying, what if we double it? That is insane, absolutely insane. And then we look at saying, all right, well, let's double our margins because we're importing now, we've got better purchasing facilities, whatever it is, and lo and behold, $1.6 million profit. So who would like that? Yes, big me. And, you know, we've seen this happen in businesses before, time and time again, where they have focused on very small tweaks, but have given them massive bangs for their buck, because they've known their numbers, they've known their plan, and they've worked out what's that dial that I'm going to turn in my business that's going to give me that real wow in my profit and loss over the next 12 months. So that we can look at last year and look at the next year and go, wow, that is incredible. What have I done? And I've actually worked less. And my life's been less stressful. Well, why is it less stressful? Because you were clear on your plan. Why is it less stressful? Because you knew your numbers and then knew which strategies you were working on and how you were measuring them. And it seems crazy to think you can get paid more, have more revenue and work less, but it's just because you're working smarter. That's all. And Paul and I and Bevan have seen it time and time again where people do that. And it's almost like I have people say to me, when's the bubble going to burst? I still can't believe this has happened. You know, and I say, it's not going to burst. You've gone past beyond the return because you know more about your numbers. You never will run a business without a budget. You'll never run it without a plan. You can't go backwards in knowledge. It's not going to burst. So this is where you guys are going. So what we want to do is focus on not here where everybody focus. Most businesses, all they do is focus on revenue and profit. What's your turnover? Turnover, turnover, turnover. That's all they want to know about, revenue, revenue. But no, what we want to focus on is here. Instead of this, we want to focus on these here, up here. These are where the strategies happen. This is where you get your bang for your buck. That's what you can impact in your business in a big, big, big way. So what we're going to look at doing is saying, what about these in your business? What's your average dollar sale? What's your number of transactions? What's your conversion rate? How many leads do you have? What's your margins? How can we improve and increase and tweak them? And you'll know which ones will give you the best bang for your buck when we join your goals, your numbers, and your strategies. And you'll know. So now we've got down to this bit. We're down to the strategies. As you can see, we've been clear of, we're looking at vision, we've done why, we've done how, we've done promise, outcomes, we've looked at all of that, we've looked at our goals, and now we're looking at the strategies. And now we're going to look at what strategies and which quarter we're going to do them in. So the section that we're going in now is our strategy builder. And I know some of you haven't finished the numbers yet, but some of you have. So I'm going to go through the strategies so you can play with that. And then while people are playing, I'm going to pop, or by Paul still around, we'll pop in and out at helping whoever needs help. Okay, so let's have a look at the strategy builder. So we've got the strategy builder here. So we're in the go-to area, and this is strategy builder. And we're going to pick here what area of improvement that you feel your business needs help with, based on what you've learned in the last day and a half about your business, where you need to work. Then we're going to go to number 2 here, which is add strategy. So then when you hit add strategy, this box pops up and it gives you all the strategies that people have worked on before that work to affect that area. So if you've chosen average dollar sale, there's all these strategies here that have worked before. And then, so add strategy and then click on one of these. And when you click on one, the strategy will open up. And then you can keep that strategy, or you can change any or all of the wording of that strategy. You choose which quarter, you choose the heading of that strategy, and then from the drop-down menu of the people, you choose who is accountable for that strategy. And then look at when you feel you want to start that strategy. Now remember, every goal should have a strategy next to it, and if the goal has a person's name, then the strategy will probably be the same person, unless it's someone who's a direct report to them. And then when we press save, then then the strategy is saved in here. But remembering, the same as we had before, here, if we press this, don't think that the strategies are disappearing, press this little line and all the strategies will appear, go show all. So don't say, oh, my strategies are going. Well, they're not, they're there. So what the goal is to pick, if you're a one-man band, I would pick 1 to 2 strategies per quarter for the next 12 months. So you'll only end up with the 8 best strategies, or 1 a quarter. Up to you how big the strategies are. So you can decide which ones you think are going to help you the most. If you've got other people to delegate to, like you've got Mark and Gary, I would be splitting up between both of you so that some have got some strategies and some have got other strategies, so you can get more achieved. So that's where we're working. So any questions? So has everyone opened the strategy builder? Yep. Yep. So I think the best thing for everyone to do is to start working in their strategies now, and then one by one, we can work with whoever needs help with backfilling or numbers, because there was 2 people who didn't do the, I think it was Chris and Loueth, who didn't do the initial first session, which I still need to go through with both of you. And there's some of you that haven't got to your numbers totally right yet. So maybe Paul, you can go in a breakout with who needs help with Paul to finish the numbers off. Tanya,
Yep.
Can I put you and Paul in? How long have you got, Paul? You've got about half an hour? You're muted.
Yeah, about half an hour.
About half an hour, okay. Well, if you can go in with Tanya, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and then I'm gonna put you guys in a breakout room, and then you reckon you can come back yourself?
Yes, we can. You can't lock us out for good.
Why not? Okay.
The system doesn't work like that.
So you two go out, and is that right? That's it. Is that working? Yep. Okay. So who else needs a hand?
I can't seem to click on anything to get it to come up. I click under headings and there's nothing, nothing. I press add strategy and it says, please select a strategy area first.
Okay.
And I can't get it to work.
Okay. Let me have a look. Do you want to share the screen?
Okay, share screen. That one?
The big green button.
Yeah. Has that worked?
Yep. Okay.
I can't click on anything.
Okay, so that's fine. So go to where it's got show all. There's a little arrow to the right. Okay. So now scroll down and choose an area. So average dollar sale might be a good one to start with. So click on that.
That one?
Yep. Now go to add strategy. Now these are all the strategies that people have worked, and there's a line there that you can drag down to show more. So go to the right, up a bit. See that line? Yep. So there's, as you can see, there's over 80 odd strategies, 100 strategies in average dollar sale. So you can go through them and pick one. So just do it as an example. So pick one maybe, and click on it. You like. There. Now go in it now. Yep, go in there. Yep. And now you can fill out the details of who's accountable, when you want to start at which quarter, and then save it once you've finished.
Okay. All right. So I just needed to start up here.
Yep. And then remember those 4 lines, 3 lines. If you click that, that'll show all. Otherwise, you'll think the strategies are disappearing.
Right.
Show all. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll let you play. Now, you can stop sharing screen, and because everybody knows what industries people are in, if you see a strategy you think would be good for somebody else, you can go down to chat and write it in the chat. if you see something that you think would be great for somebody else's business. That would make a difference. So I'll give everyone, say, maybe till 3 to play in strategies, and then just so that they get the hang of it and have a bit of a break from numbers. And then those that need help with numbers, I'll see what I can do to help them. So just holler if I can help anyone. So I've just got in my book, I've done a research on the top strategies that I've worked over the last decade or so with businesses. The ones that I've got here, if it's of value to people, that after all my research, I got it down to the top few in each strategy area. Cash flow strategies were implement a debtor system if you don't have one, a stock system if you don't have one, if you have stock, review your fixed expenses annually, and review your wages to revenue ratio annually, and track it monthly so that you have a look for every extra dollar you make, making sure that your wages is not going up more than that amount. They were the top ones that had helped people with cash flow. Gross profit was your product mix, making sure your product mix is, you're focusing on the ones that have more gross profit. Increase prices, basic one, but a lot of people haven't increased them for a long time. Negotiate better prices for stock of your buyer. No discounting, that's a big one. A lot of people discount a lot and they don't need to, they can give extra value instead of discounting. Average dollar sale, the top strategies that I've seen people work, upselling. A lot of people don't upsell, so when someone's already buying something off you, upselling them onto something else because they already trust you that they can need. Number 2 is educating your team and customers of what you've actually got, educating them better on your products. The third one, which people very rarely do, is analysing your competitors. So having a look at who else are people talking to when they're Googling your product or service. Top conversion rate strategies I've seen people work with are being consistent. Having their consistency of their sales process, make sure it's consistent. Tweak your sales process, have a very defined sales process so that it's very clear. People like to know what their journey is they're going through. Train salespeople and have better scripts so that people who are speaking to people know what they're talking about. They were the top ones that I've seen work for people in those key areas. I just thought I would share them if that helps people. Oh, what page? What page were they all on? They were all on the strategic chapter, which is, what does that look? I think it's chapter 5. Look. chapter 7 is where all the strategies are. Ruth? So give me a yell, whoever needs a hand.
Suzanne, it's Lisa here. I noticed on the profit loss, there's an area where I can put dividends. Where do I actually enter that in? If I want to pay a director's dividend. Oops. Sorry, Suzanne, I can't. Okay, can you try again? Can I hear you now? No, I still can't hear you. What have I done?
Susan, your mic's off.
Oh yeah, Suzanne, unmute. Ah,
Yep.
there you go.
There you go. We all do
Yeah.
it. Even though I do Zoom every day, I still do it. So go into the setup screen and go to dividend and put a percentage in there. The first screen that we went in yesterday.
So you can only put it as a percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to put it in as an expense.
So director's draw. Okay.
Under operating expenses if you wanted to, or a fixed cost of sale if you wanted to, but really it would go under dividend in that percentage place because it's normally based on percentage.
Okay. Okay.
Who else? Did you find it?
Yep, thank you.
Great. Who else needs a hand?
Do we put our tax rate in here now?
Now, you can if you want, but I generally don't do it till after you've put all the numbers in from the end of the financial year and everything, and then just want to see, okay, well, what am I due to pay the tax man? But different countries, this platform's used globally, different countries have different tax rates, so, and different ways of doing it. And the problem with this is it calculates overall of basically the net profit, whereas when in Australia, when we do our end of year, there's things that we can then, add back and say, oh no, that was for business, and that we try and pay as little tax as possible, so it's not as cut and dry as right across the profit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So some things are claimable, some things are not, and so I generally leave it off because that's for the taxman to try and reduce our tax as much as possible based on what's claimable, what's not claimable.
Yeah. So the area
carry on, you might have carryover losses from the year before, and there's all kinds of things that are taken into account.
Okay. Under the profit loss, there's gross profit, and then you go overheads,
net profit,
salary, insurance. I have depreciation. There's actually a separate section for depreciation there.
Yes.
Where do I put that in?
So are you saying in the profit and loss that's projected?
Yeah.
That's coming out of capital purchases that you might have put in that have a depreciation number to them.
All right. So if I add my hardware into that and whatnot? If
you're paying it off, yeah.
Yeah.
Under capital items via cash, via debt, or via equity, there's a depreciation element of that.
So that's not just the actual, like the 40% depreciation of your hardware.
Yep. So that generally comes out at the end of the year. The assets on your balance sheet, and then the depreciation you put in that you put in at the end of the year when the accountant does your end of financials. You'll have your asset register and your depreciation schedule, and that will get entered in then.
Okay, so and where do I enter that into here?
You would enter that in the expenses.
Oh, okay, so that's what I've done.
Yeah, yeah.
But it doesn't come out as an item here under this.
No, because in the profit and loss, it normally just comes under expenses.
Okay.
That's how it normally comes under. So yeah, and the other one is just a calculation that comes out.
All right.
But if you have to have a purchase in the future, it works a calculation. Some goes to the balance sheet because it's an asset, and some goes to the liability because it's a liability because you owe money on it, and the interest goes to the profit and loss.
Okay.
So it's just, it all happens in the back end. And that's if you're looking at buying a future asset. But normally at the end of the financial year, your accountant will give you your depreciation figure for that particular year, and that will just go in your expenses.
All right.
I know it's confusing. Sorry.
That's all right. All right. Okay, so I think I've got a profit and loss.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Not that I have any idea what. Well, shall I just share it? It's pretty, and
Yeah.
then just see if it makes sense to make sense what I'm doing.
Yep.
All right. Okay, can you see that now?
Yep, I sure can.
All right, so if I go and show what I've put in, sorry, let me just go show you how I've done it now. I've changed my product list. So my product list now is for each product. So these are things that I do annually, but what I've done, but they stagger when these things will actually start.
Yep,
okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then I've put in a cost for them.
That looks good.
So in terms of my cost, so at year 3, after I've done it for 2 years, I bring someone on board to do half the work, and then they take, so basically I take 25% profit off them completing the job. Is that the way you would do it? So for this one here, at year 4, I bring someone, I subcontract that out for someone else to do, and using it, and then so these are the ones that I'm able to subcontract out in the first 5 years. The rest will have to be after
where
that.
did you get the 900% increase in cost from?
Well, this one I'll share with that MRE one. So so I sell that for 20,000 at the moment.
Yep.
So to be able to get a cost of $10,000, which is what I had to put that $1,000 in here, and then in the 4th year it will cost me $15,000. I'll pay someone as they do more of the reporting, and so I can retain 20,000 there, 5,000 there, and 5,000 years ongoing.
Yep, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, does it?
Yeah,
yeah,
no, it does.
it makes sense to me.
You're still making a margin of 5K and you're not doing anything, so that's good. I like that. That's leveraged.
Yeah, but what I've said here, like where I worked before, these, I've lifted these costs by, that one. So these guys are lifting in costs anyway, and that is not unreasonable with what I saw when I worked from some of the bigger consulting firms.
So the price has gone up, but you've kept that volume the same because you've added a separate line for the new ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. I've left. Actually, what I was going to do was leave. Yeah. Anyway, I have to work on them. And then the only other thing I did was, so expenses. Expenses in here has got the depreciation, hardware and computer depreciation. And then I have got, there's an IT lab. No, that doesn't make sense, does it?
Why?
Oh yeah, it does, because it starts year 3. There's a laptop upgrade in there. And a phone upgrade in there.
Yep.
And so that would mean my insurance is there. I've just increased that. I don't have any other capital.
Okay, that's fine. requirements. Yep.
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
No, that sounds fine, but you can play with it if you do.
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds great. So your numbers are looking, so when you go to the what if and go to profit and loss.
So that's after taking my salary out.
Yes, that's fine. I can
So and short and a salary in there for shorts.
Yep.
And that's after the dividend
Yep.
that's coming out in there.
That looks good.
So that's keeps my daughter being a professional athlete. Holy Jesus.
Yep.
Yep.
That
Yep.
looks good. It's looking very feasible.
Okay.
So
And that, yeah, and that's just work I know I've got and
Yep.
keeping that ruddy on. All right.
Perfect. And go to what if and go to the bottom report, which is financial ratio. So you're saying that your gross profit net, yeah. So you're looking, yep. So that's fine.
What's that mean? What's all that mean? I
Well,
have no idea.
It means that of 100% of every dollar, 96% of it is gross profit because you're doing the work yourself. Cost of goods are only 44%. Overheads are 84% of the gross profit. And then we've got net profit. You've got 11%. Year 2, you've got 23%. Year 3, 31 goes down again because you've got other people to do the work, but only down
That's
to
it.
28 and then
Yeah.
24. So
Yeah.
it's looking, that's looking pretty good.
Yeah, is that not is that too optimistic or just about healthy?
It's your business. I have no idea.
Okay.
Everyone's business is different, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
All right.
That's great. Well done. Well done. Well done. So now getting clear on what are your top strategies then?
I haven't done that. Okay, I'll go back and do that.
Work on that. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
So if you stop sharing.
Yeah.
So who else needs some help with the numbers now? And I'll go through, they can share screen or I can attempt to go in a breakout room. But that's scary because I'm the one running the meeting. So I just don't want to cut everyone off. So everyone can turn the noise off if they don't want to hear. Does anyone need help with their numbers or strategies? I want everyone to get to a happy place. That's my goal. Catherine, did you need help?
I'm fine. I was going to say, if you want to make me temporary host, you can go into a breakout room if you want.
Okay, all right. Well, that sounds easier said than done, but we will see. I probably can do that. It's just Renee normally does all the back end while I do the presenting, and she's at home, so she's not sitting here by my side, unfortunately.
If you want to, just
I feel like I've got my arm chopped off. I don't have her to go fix it. Okay, Louis, you need help. Tell me, how can I help? Where are you? You're hiding. Oh, there you are. There. I can't see your face. Okay. Tell me, let me go. Okay, let me try and do something fancy. I'll try and, there you go. Do you want to change the host to Suzanne? Okay. Oh, yes. Now that's a bit difficult. Okay, so if you want to share your screen, Loueth, is that okay? Do you want to share your screen, or would you rather me try and go into a breakout room, or can you share the screen? People can turn their sound down. I mean, most people learn from other people's challenges anyway.
I don't know whether anyone can learn from anything because I'm all over the place at the moment.
Well, I think most people know that feeling, and that's a good feeling to hear someone else saying it, because it makes them realise that they've been in similar places. So tell me, what's the first thing that's been challenging that you need me to uncomplicate?
Just the numbers.
Okay, so the first thing is the products. There's got to be a sale. So when we go into the products,
yeah,
what are they looking like?
Can I share that?
Yes, you can go down to the bottom and go to the green button and go share screen.
I think, is that it?
Yep. Yep, that's it. Okay. So this is looking good.
Yeah.
So we've got the name of each workshop. Yep. Then we've got the cost. Now, how many of these cultural competence workshops do you hope to do in the next year? And they 5K per workshop?
Yes.
So how many would you like to do in the next 12 months? What's realistic?
Within one work, well, it's like all 3 workshops together. So they go in workshop 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
So I haven't put that. I did put it in the little box that you can't see. I hope to, I'm not sure yet.
So it's probably better to click on the top calculator next to the word cultural. No, the top calculator next to the word cultural.
This one?
Yep. So I'd like to know how many, what is a goal of how many of these workshops you would like to deliver in year 1, which is the coming year, starting in a few days. How many? What would be a fabulous goal that you would say, I'm so excited, I delivered X amount of workshops this year?
12.
12, okay, so in products, units sold, write 12. How many do you run at the moment?
None.
Okay, so maybe 12 one a month is a bit unrealistic because Perth generally won't have anything in December, January. So I'd say 10 is maybe a bit more realistic because I run workshops, so I know it's hard to get people in them in December, January. So, and then you've got the Easter school holidays, April, which is quite challenging. So I'd say 9 to 10 is more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Just so that you can, you know, be in the more. So now press enter. So press tab or enter. Yep. And now look at, okay, over the coming years, go back to where you were in that little calculator, back to where you were. The top line is percentage increase, that you're going to put that price up, and the bottom line is volume. So you're saying 10 in the first year. Would you like to increase that volume in year 2, 3, 4, and 5? Top line is price. That's price, Loreth. That's price increase. Bottom line is volume increase. Mm-hmm. How many would you like to? This is percentage. Would you like maybe to do 5% more every year, or 2% more every year, or keep it the same?
2.2.
Yep. And then just tab across. And then decide, do you want to increase every year? Do a few more every year? A little bit more?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the top price.
What was that?
The top one is price.
Yep, it's price. Yep, absolutely.
And the volume?
Yep, that's how many. So if you have a look at these year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, you'll see. So we've got 5K a workshop, 10 workshops is revenues 50K year 1, year 2. The price is 5,200 and we're doing 10.2 workshops. So that will obviously be, you know, a different, you know, it's getting that slight increase. And then year 3, That's how much they're costing. That's how many, year 4, etc. Okay. So this is where you're looking at basing these numbers on what goals you want to achieve.
Yeah.
So now press enter or tab across. And go down to the bottom right-hand calculator. There's a calculator right down the bottom of that screen on the right. No, right down the bottom of the screen. Right down the bottom to the right. Yep, there, press that calculator. And now your numbers are starting to calculate. That's why there was no numbers there before, because you didn't have how many units you wanted to sell of them. Okay? Does that make sense? So if you stop sharing for a minute and then you just play with that by yourself with how many units you want sold of each one, and the price increase every year, the top line, and the volume increase, the second line, and then press the calculator. So the first thing is you've got to build your target revenue, your target turnover figure. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. No worries. Anyway, I'll come back to you in a sec. So what else, how else are people going? Who else needs help? Where are people at? We're coming close to 3 o'clock. So often people will be starting to getting close to a good place. And then once we get there, we want to review the whole plan and go through the whole thing from start to finish.
Can you just help check with this one?
Yep, absolutely. Do you want to share screen?
I'll give it a go. I'm on dual screen, so.
No worries, just go down to the green button and share screen. Okay. All
Does that
right.
work?
Yep, I can see.
Yeah.
So you've got a price percentage change in the top product and the top 1, 2, 3 products, and none of the others have you got any price or volume change?
No, I wasn't sure where to go with that.
That's okay, that's totally up to you. So you just basically click in that top calculator next to the product group, that one. And then the top line here is percentage price increase. So it's compounding. So as you do that, as you put numbers in there, you'll see year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, you'll see the price change. And then
Would it be a fair price for it to be increased by?
What was that?
Would it be a fair percentage rate for decrease?
If you want to be very conservative, just do CPI increase. So just do like 2% or something like that and see how that goes.
But each year, or 2 and 4 and 6?
Just do 2 every year if you want to. I mean, it often obviously depends on your industry and depends on, you know, the market rate of your industry. So then the line underneath that is volume. That's the volume that you feel is going to be of that particular product going up.
Yeah, 5% maybe, the hope.
Yep. Yep. Now press the calculator down the bottom right to recalculate the numbers. And now we have a look at the new revenue target. So questions around this screen. Are you happy with this? Is this greater or less than what you've currently been doing in the past?
These figures all the way down are all pretty close.
Okay.
And I've just worked out an average of, if it's 85 for the year,
yep,
divide that by an average price per unit and sell it at.
Okay. Yep.
I think Chris, just a comment, Chris needs to go back in and just go into that the calculator bit and just change the numbers, because he's got revenue year 1, $580 million.
Have you? Why not? Where we go?
I'm fine with that.
Ah,
So product units sold, 2,833. That needs to just change to the number that you'll sell per year. Just an
Okay.
observation.
sure.
Hopefully you can sell that many, Chris.
That's why I asked the question, is that near to what you've been doing
So
now?
that's roughly how much that particular item was sold for the year. So I divided that by roughly $35 per unit.
Okay, so if that's the case, we put 35 in there, if that's the unit sold. So hold on, 35 times 2,833. So are you saying it's $35 a unit
I think that's what I used.
and 2,833 of them are being sold? Is that right?
Yeah.
So that means that in item sell for put $35 instead of 85,000. No, that's right. 2,833 was right. 2,833 was what you
Yep.
had in there. So put that back. Products unit sold 2,833. So I think it was 2,833, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was was it 2,833, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 2,833. Yep. And then where you've got item sell for, put $35 instead of 85,000.
Okay. Yeah.
And what is this product? And then press tab. Yep. Yep, that's it. And then go and click in the white and press the calculator again.
And here.
Yep. Aha. Yeah. So
I'll go through and change these to per unit down this line.
if that's it, it's just got to be it's just got to make sense for you. So average tip fee is about $35 each.
Yeah.
That's what you sell it for. You charge the client $35.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. Okay. So this figure here at the bottom, year one revenue, that's got to equal your target goal turnover for the year.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to keep playing with that and then just call me if I can help?
Yep, will do.
Is there any other questions or is that okay for the moment?
That's it for now.
Okay, and I think
Thank
the
you.
percentages, price and volume could be played with a tiny bit. I mean, even a couple of percent in each one, you're generally going to have that much wiggle room from year to next.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So stop sharing. Thank you. Who else needs help? How are you going, Mark? Gary?
Yeah.
How are you
No,
going?
I was on that strategy builder, but it's amazing how many come out when you're under the conversion rate. You know, there's quite a big list there. And when you go through, a lot of them are very similar, but
They are. And you can
they
write
all-
over them and make them your own and play with them.
Yes. So
So just pick the ones that you think are going to give you the best bang.
conversion rate was the big one.
Huge.
And then you do touch on marketing, that content marketing.
Yep.
What was the other one? The break even, because there's work to be done on the break even.
Yep. Great.
No, that's fine.
Brilliant.
It's sticking with those dates now.
Yep. Good. Okay.
Yep.
Right. Well, who else needs a hand with their numbers or strategies? So once everyone's happy with their numbers and once they've chosen their top strategies, then the last thing really to do before we do our wrap up is to start at the beginning and just go through every single screen and double checking what you've put in. And you'll see often there's a little calculator, not a little magnifying glass that you'll see on the side of a panel. If you click on that, that shows you what it looks like in the plan. So if you're going to share this with somebody else, if it looks scrappy, you might want to neaten it up if you're going to share it with team members. So you might, you know, if you've got typing errors, or if you want to put more information or more detail, if you're going to share it with somebody, you might want to just go through screen to screen and just tidy it all up and see the gaps. The other thing that is really important is go back to your goals and go back to your outcomes, because we need to make sure they're aligned with your numbers once you've got your numbers right. As an example, if you had in your goals, I would like to turn over 1 million or 2 million or 5 million or 300 million. You could have that in the goals, and then when we look at the P&L, the profit and loss, if that's not replicated, then there's a misalignment in the plan. Your goals need to align with your numbers and your strategies. So if one of your goals is to hit a gross profit margin of 45%, well, then we need to make sure in the profit and loss, the gross profit margin is 45%, and we need to have a strategy with how we're going to get that gross profit margin to 45%, so that the plan is seamless. And that also needs to also link back to your outcome. So if your outcome says, I would like to increase my conversion rate in my marketing through better communication with my clients, so that's the outcome of marketing. Then the goal in marketing is, I would like to increase my lead generation or my conversion rate by X percentage. Then the strategy must have that as well, so that our whole plan is aligned, so that we're working. You imagine if you said, you know, I would like to increase my goal for this year is to increase my running, but I'm going to go and work on my rowing. Well, it's not aligned. It's the same with our business. We need to look at what's our outcome, are our goals and our measurements and our strategies aligned with our outcomes. And then that's why it's a lot easier for success to happen, because we've got a clear picture of what it is and how it's going to happen. Does that make sense? So, Rick, how are you going? You made a funny face there before. What happened? Oh, you can't say. Maybe you can't say.
No, I'm there. I'm there. No, I think I need to see it all together, and then I'll probably go back and change things.
Okay, well, I would recommend, if you're happy, how many strategies have you chosen?
Well, I've just gone and used like what was there.
Okay.
But I think I can add stuff which is more relevant to.
Sure. And you can just print the strategy builder if you want to.
Yeah.
And once everyone's happy with their plan, we will print a printed copy and give it to you.
Yeah.
Unless you're desperate to save trees, which some people don't want it printed. But if you do, I like to print it because it's just one document for a point in time that you can play with and scribble on and have in your hand. So once you've got it, then you can print it and play with it, and then you can go back and tweak it and go back into the strategy builder. But you can actually share that with team members and print out strategy.
No, yeah, like you just said, now I just need to go back and check to see make sure that those strategies align with what.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if you can go through them.
Yeah, because I see lots of good things and I'm like, oh, that's cool, we should do that. And
yeah,
I'm just like click.
Good, but that's fine. That's all right.
But then I just need to line those up so that they all work with each other.
Yes, exactly. Yep, that makes sense. Yep. All right, great. So who else? Aaron, how are you going? Can I help, or are you working fine? Let me know.
Yeah, I'm just being a bit methodical and just going through and just looking at the numbers, just seeing where I can improve and tweak, and then just going through some of the strategies. So just improving and being methodical where I can. It's making sense. It's just getting the numbers just in a in a good way, like realistic, but also pushing outside the comfort zone.
Yeah, which is good. Really good. Okay.
Yeah.
Please holler if I can help.
Yep.
Okay. Belinda, how who was
That's
talking?
Lisa. Sorry.
Lisa, how you going, Lisa?
Good. Are we able to print ourselves to get a look at what the document looks like?
Absolutely. So if you go, can you share your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, go to area up the top, and maybe everyone should look at this, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom. But I wouldn't do it now, but see, right, the second bottom one is print report.
Oh, why is it on the second bottom?
Yeah, and then you download PDF and you go create new, because it'll wipe over the past when you create a new one every year. So, but don't do it now till you're finished, but then you can just have a PDF copy to have a look at.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I print a real one once you finish. Once you're happy with it, I'll print a real one and I'll catch up. I catch up with everyone after in the next week or two, couple of weeks. Once everyone's finished, I catch up with everyone one-on-one to just go through their plan and jump for joy and hand deliver it and get excited about it. Because often it's the first time someone's ever created a proper business plan.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to get my head around that. If I go download, download PDF.
Yeah, or construct. I will go to the printer.
Yeah.
Hit on that, and we can go PDF, print PDF. Actually, no. Yes, this is right. Create. So then you go create. Yep. And then it'll think and it'll create you a PDF, and it'll take a little while and then it'll pop up because all the little workers are in the background working. Okay, and it'll come up in a sec. But it takes a little while to do it.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so but it will, yeah, it generally, when we're creating the PDFs, it takes, I don't know, 30 seconds or so to create them. It's got to beam up to Scotty and calculate, get the calculator out and work it all out and come back to you.
Susan, can I just check with you something?
Yep. Do you want to unshare your screen now, Lisa?
Yeah, I am.
Thank you. Yep.
With the where it says to load the profit and loss for the previous years, where do we load that?
Okay, in the first and second screen where it's got down load financials. You've got the when you go to, if you want to share screen.
Yep, 1 minute.
Yep. So go to area. Oh, you're in the first one. You're in the right one. So this is your opening balances of your profit and loss. So these are your numbers as of the end of this financial year. You've gone away from it. So that's where you put them in there. So these grey areas, they're calculations.
So where are the figures? I haven't put in anything yet.
No, but this is where you do put them when the end of the financial year happens.
Oh, so I have to manually add it in. I don't have to upload the document.
No.
Okay. That makes sense.
And so this is and so then the next screen after that is the balance sheet, where you enter the balance sheet.
Got it. So I have to type it in. That's,
yes.
I should to upload the document.
No, you don't upload it, because this is, as I said, this is global, and different countries have got different accounting packages that are most popular. So that would be way too complicated. It takes 5 minutes to enter the ending balances at the end of the financial year. It doesn't take long.
Okay.
I've been doing that.
They're just opening balances. Okay. Did that make sense, Tanya? Okay. Yep. Did you need a hand there, Belinda?
No, I was busy filling out those, what you just said don't do.
Oh, well, no, you can do it because you need to do it at some stage, but it's just that we've got a couple of days left of the financial year and you might want to wait till the final reconciliation at the end of June to do it.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right.
Up to you, but you know, some people like to put them in now to see if they're you know on the right track, because they might not change that much in the next week or two. As Aaron said, his were going to change in a few days, so he was putting his in. So how are you going with your numbers, Belinda? Did you get somewhere that you're feeling a bit better with?
All I did was did my my total revenue, and then I just made the parts and the labour to equal that.
Yep.
Well, at least the bottom line was right.
Okay,
But
good.
just the percentages are not right.
Okay, all right. So you'll have to work with Paul on that to get
Yeah.
them right.
Yeah.
And it's really, you know, it's magnified that there's some areas of opportunity for you to understand more about your numbers of your business.
Yeah, that's for
The more
sure.
transactions and the more turnover you have, the more opportunity you have to actually improve it,
Yeah.
which is great opportunity. It's a really big opportunity.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm happy with that.
So once people are happy with their strategies and their numbers, as I said to Rick, it's time to basically go through from the beginning and just go to the right arrow and go through each one and just review and open each window and have a look if the whole plan makes sense. And you might want to write the notes down to have a look at the outcomes and have a look at your goals and your financials, like that's the profit and loss, and your strategies. They're the four that we're really wanting to align. So what are the outcomes that you had that you wanted to achieve in the plan? And you might go the reverse as well. You might go, okay, well, in my turnover, I've got that I've hit a net profit of this. I might put that as a goal so that I can work backwards. Like Louette, you said you wanted to do 10 workshops. Well, you might want to reverse and go back and put that in the goals and say, my goal for year one is to do 10 of that workshop. That's my goal. So that we're aligning in our plan, our goals, and the outcomes, the numbers, and the strategies that we're going to do. So does anyone, we've got about 10 minutes to go before we have a 15-minute afternoon tea break, before then we go to the home stretch. Does anyone have any questions or help that they need around the numbers or strategies or aligning or reviewing? Damien, unmute.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, all good. But just for the salary for the key people,
yep.
Do I need to go and add new people if we're expecting to take people on in sort of like years 3, 4, and 5?
Absolutely. And just
I think
put future apprentice or future technician, and then put what year they're going to be starting in. So you've got to do them the page before where the wages are, otherwise you can't enter them.
Page before the wages.
Yeah, because
so in salary and the key people salary.
So the key people, you put their names in on the screen before.
Oh, on the people list.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm going to just do that now. All right, thank you.
Who's got a crying dog in the background?
Oh, sorry, that's me.
Oh, I can hear it. I can hear a little.
I've put her in a little cage.
Oh no, that's all right.
I'll mute it.
Thanks. So we're going to go and have a break at 3:30 and have a quick cup of tea, stretch and loo break. So there's a few minutes left. Does anyone want a hand? So I can help them in the last few minutes before we go into our break, and then we'll come back at 3:45 and then finish up. Should be finished by 4:30 at the latest 5 o'clock.
I'm all good, but I just got an email back from the Ibis World, so I don't know whether anyone else would have got. So I've got access to that.
You've got access to
Yeah.
fantastic.
I'm sure others have probably got it as well.
Great. So you can get into the Ibis World and have a look at your industry.
Yeah. Whereabouts were we meant to key that in? I forget where it was.
Okay. So go to can you just share your screen?
I'm on 2 computers.
Your 2 computers.
Yeah, so I'm not, the one I'm on with you now is different to the one I'm.
Bevan, can you share your screen then? Bevan?
I can log on.
That's all right. I'll just get Bevan to share it and show you, because I'm on a slideshow, so I can't.
Yeah.
So hang on a second. So which screen do you want me to show?
Yeah, you're in the portal, Bevan?
Oh, it just logged out. Hang on.
Is it thinking, is it? If not, I can go and log in. I've just got so many things. Yep. So if you go to area, go to the top button, and then go down, keep going up, too fast, up. Into CS, sales, down a bit, down a bit. Yep.
Sales. Yep.
Industry market overview.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Cool.
So, yep. Brilliant. Thanks, Bevan. Just stop sharing. That's fine.
Thank you.
Can you stop sharing? That's it. Brilliant. Thank you. So anybody else get the Ibis World access?
I couldn't get on the site.
Because I came in late, Susanna.
Yep.
I could just see down the video on the recording on just do those few screens that I missed earlier because I came in late.
Yeah, that's fine. I will get Renee to send them to you, but I can go through them with you anyway. They're not that difficult. So it's only one tiny section, so a small section.
All right,
so,
I could get around that. Watch the recording.
So when Renee sent you the link this morning, she also added an email address of the Small Business Development Corp. And if you email them, because of COVID, they will give you temporary access to get into Ibis World, which is a global industry, I suppose, authority.
Oh yeah, actually had a look at this on the weekend as part of the sort of the prep work.
Yeah, so because we just log into Ibis World, it costs $1,000 to buy the report, so we don't do that, and we have a couple of numbers that are locked, but Small Business Development Corp will give you temporary access if you email them, and a few people emailed this morning. Who else emailed? Did anyone else email?
I did.
Yep. Have you heard back from them yet?
Yeah, I've just got the link, not the link, the password and stuff to log in.
You've got it too. Great. So you can go and have a look too. Brilliant. Okay. So it's in the email address is in the email from Renee. Did you get it, Damien? Did you email? And you've got it as well now?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got the email. I was going to try and log in now.
Great. So have a look now. That will be very valuable information to have a look at the real numbers of your industry and your sector and how big your pie is. It can really change people's mindset about what's possible in their industry, which is great. All right, look, it's 3:30. I'm going to have a 15-minute break for everyone. I'm going to leave this open so that we don't have to all log back in because we're all in. But I'll just close my camera off and mute for 15. And then everybody can meet us back in here in 15 minutes. Okay.
Ay, ay, ay. No, 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 no. No.
So hopefully everyone's just about back now for our home stretch. Now, I can't see Lisa's face or John's or Rick's, so I'm not sure if they're hiding or, yep, you're there, fantastic. John, are you there? And Rick, are you there, or you're hiding somewhere? I'll just give them another couple of minutes. Now, to those that missed the section on the industry bit, once we've finished, I'll stay for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It wasn't long to show those who missed it. I think you missed it, Aaron, and I think Loueth missed it, and I think did you miss it, Chris? The first section?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, well, I'll just go over that at the end, and then I can just show you so that you can finish that up.
Yep.
And then we can send you the recording anyway as well, but I'll go through it at the end. So Loueth is not there. I wonder if she's coming in, and then we will finish. That. Okay, and is Rick coming back? So where, yep, she's coming back, and Rick, he's ran away somewhere. Let's get him in. Okay. We'll wait for those two to come in a couple of minutes. So have people had a look at the more detailed industry report now?
Yeah, logging in there now.
Yep, that's great. And is that giving you just a little bit more insight into your sector?
No.
No? Okay.
Are you muted or not? No, not really.
No, okay. Most people it does, so maybe it's just not got that much information in your sector.
Okay.
That's unusual. So the things that we're wanting to look at is what's the projected growth, the revenue. We're looking at where it's sitting, who the big players are is another one that often is interesting information. The other one is the benchmarking report. That's often a bit of insight for people to see what the industry standards are for the key indicators like gross profit margin, operating expenses, wages to revenue ratio. Those sorts can also give people a lot of insight into where they're tracking compared to their competitors. So that was the other link that might have helped. Okay. So Louise is coming in, she says, but she's not in yet. So hopefully she'll be in a second, but I will move on. So I'm going to share screen now. So goal is, can everyone see my screen on the strategy builder? Yep. So goal is that you've picked your top strategies, hopefully for the next 12 months, that will help you to achieve your actual goals. Here in this actions to take as well, if you put actions to take, they will be printed out at the end of your strategies as well. Now, the key to the implementation and to the success of your plan is to actually follow through and do the actions. That is the key, because the thing is, you can have a wonderful plan, but if you don't implement it, it's not going to come to fruition. So that is the key to your success. And I think that's the gap that I see with a lot of business owners. Once they've got the knowledge and once they've got the ideas, they know the ideas, they know what they can do to improve their business, but that old procrastination monkey are not actually putting the time in their calendar to do the strategies. Now, my recommendation is 3 hours a week will give you a massive improvement. And if you're predetermined what the strategies are and put the time away to do them, that's going to give you, in 12 months' time, a business that is no different. It's totally different from what it was a year before. Totally different. So what I'm going to show you is something that I normally show in the workshop to just try and hone that, really get that impact through. Now, I'm just going to show you, here it is here. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little 15-minute video. Can everyone see my screen? That's going to really hone this point down. Can everyone see video now?
Get a real-time bird's eye view of your projects. Create project plans in one click.
Okay, can everyone hear and see that?
Yes.
So in college, I was a government major, which means I had to write a lot of papers. Now, when a normal student writes a paper, they might spread the work out a little like this. So, you know, you get started maybe a little slowly, but you get enough done in the first week that with some heavier days later on, everything gets done and things stay civil. And I would want to do that like that. That would be the plan. I would have it all ready to go, but then actually the paper would come along, and then I would kind of do this. And that would happen to every single paper. But then came my 90-page senior thesis, a paper you're supposed to spend a year on. I knew for a paper like that, my normal workflow was not an option. It was way too big a project. So I planned things out, and I decided I kind of had to go something like this. This is how the year would go. So I'd start off light, and I'd bump it up in the middle months. And then at the end, I would kick it up to high gear. It's like a little staircase. How hard can you just walk up the stairs? No big deal, right? But then funniest thing happened. Those first few months, they came and went, and I couldn't quite do stuff. So we had an awesome new revised plan. And then those middle months actually went by, and I didn't really write words. And so we were here. And then 2 months turned into 1 month, turned into 2 weeks. And one day I woke up with 3 days until the deadline, still not having written a word. And so I did the only thing I could. I wrote 90 pages over 72 hours, pulling not one, but 2 all-nighters. Humans are not supposed to pull 2 all-nighters. Sprinted across campus, dove in slow motion, and got it in just at the deadline. I thought that was the end of everything. But a week later, I get a call. And it's the school. And they say, "Is this Tim Urban?" And I say, "Yeah." And they say, "We need to talk about your thesis." And I say, "Okay." And they say, "It's the best one we've ever seen." That did not happen. It was a very, very bad thesis. I just wanted to enjoy that one moment when all of you thought, "This guy is amazing." No, it was very, very bad. Anyway, today I'm a writer, blogger guy. I write the blog Wait But Why. And a couple of years ago, I decided to write about procrastination. My behaviors always perplexed the non-procrastinators around me, and I wanted to explain to the non-procrastinators of the world what goes on in the heads of procrastinators and why we are the way we are. Now, I had a hypothesis that the brains of procrastinators were actually different than the brains of other people. And to test this, I found an MRI lab that actually let me scan both my brain and the brain of a proven non-procrastinator. And so I could compare them. And I actually brought them here to show you today. And I want you to take a look carefully to see if you can notice a difference. And I know that if you're not a trained brain expert, it's not that obvious, but just take a look, okay? So here's the brain of a non-procrastinator. Now, here's my brain. There is a difference. Both brains have a rational decision maker in them, but the procrastinator's brain also has an instant gratification monkey. Now, what does this mean for the procrastinator? Well, it means everything's fine until this happens. So the rational decision maker will make the rational decision to do something productive, but the monkey doesn't like that plan. So he actually takes the wheel and he says, actually, let's read the entire Wikipedia page of the Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding scandal, because I just remember that happened. Then we're going to go over to the fridge. We're going to see if there's anything new in there since 10 minutes ago. After that, we're going to go on a YouTube spiral that starts with videos of Richard Feynman talking about magnets and ends much, much later with us watching interviews with Justin Bieber's mom. All of that's going to take a while, so we're not going to really have room on the schedule for any work today. Sorry. Now, what is going on here? The instant gratification monkey does not seem like a guy you want behind the wheel. He lives entirely in the present moment. He has no memory of the past, no knowledge of the future, and he only cares about two things: easy and fun. Now, in the animal world, that works fine. If you're a dog and you spend your whole life doing nothing other than easy and fun things, you're a huge success. And to the monkey, humans are just another animal species. He has to keep well slept, well fed, and propagating into the next generation, which in tribal times might have worked okay. But if you haven't noticed, now we're not in tribal times. We're in an advanced civilization, and the monkey does not know what that is, which is why we have another guy in our brain, the rational decision maker, who gives us the ability to do things no other animal can do. We can visualize the future. We can see the big picture. We can make long-term plans. And he wants to take all of that into account. And he wants to just have us do whatever makes sense to be doing right now. Now, sometimes it makes sense to be doing things that are easy and fun, like when you're having dinner or going to bed or enjoying well-earned leisure time. That's why there's an overlap. Sometimes they agree. But other times, it makes much more sense to be doing things that are harder and less pleasant for the sake of the big picture. And that's when we have a conflict. And for the procrastinator, that conflict tends to end a certain way every time, leaving him spending a lot of time in this orange zone, an easy and fun place that's entirely out of the make sense circle. I call it the dark playground. Now, the dark playground is a place that all of you procrastinators out there know very well. It's where leisure activities happen at times when leisure activities are not supposed to be happening. The fun you have in the dark playground isn't actually fun because it's completely unearned and the air is filled with guilt, dread, anxiety, self-hatred, all those good procrastinator feelings. And the question is, in this situation with the monkey behind the wheel, how does the procrastinator ever get himself over here to this blue zone, a less pleasant place, but where really important things happen? Well, turns out that the procrastinator has a guardian angel, someone who's always looking down on him and watching over him in his darkest moments, someone called the panic monster. Now, the panic monster is dormant most of the time, but he suddenly wakes up anytime a deadline gets too close or there's danger of public embarrassment, a career disaster, or some other scary consequence. And importantly, he's the only thing that the monkey is terrified of. Now, he became very relevant in my life pretty recently because people of TED reached out to me about 6 months ago and invited me to do a TED Talk. Now, of course, I said yes. It's always been a dream of mine to have done a TED Talk in the past. But in the middle of all this excitement, the rational decision maker seemed to have something else in his mind. He was saying, are we clear on what we just accepted? Do we get what's going to be now happening one day in the future? We need to sit down and work on this right now. And the monkey said, totally agree, but also let's just open Google Earth and let's zoom into the bottom of India, like 200 feet above the ground. And we're going to scroll up for 2.5 hours till we get to the top of the country so we can get a better feel for India. So that's what we did that day. As 6 months turned into 4 and then 2 and then 1, the people of TED decided to release the speakers. And I opened up the website and there was my face staring right back at me. And guess who woke up? So the panic monster starts losing his mind. And a few seconds later, the whole system's in mayhem. And the monkey, who remember, he's terrified of the panic monster. Boom, he's up the tree. And finally, the rational decision maker can take the wheel and I can start working on the talk. Now, the panic monster explains all kinds of pretty insane procrastinating behavior, like how someone like me could spend 2 weeks unable to start the opening sentence of a paper and then miraculously find the unbelievable work ethic to stay up all night and write 8 pages. And this entire situation with the 3 characters, this is the procrastinator's system. It's not pretty, but in the end, it works. And this is what I decided to write about on the blog just a couple of years ago. Now, when I did, I was amazed by the response. Literally thousands of emails came in from all different kinds of people from all over the world doing all different kinds of things. These were people who were nurses and bankers and painters and engineers and lots of PhD students. And they were all writing saying the same thing. I have this problem too. But what struck me was the contrast between the light tone of the post and the heaviness of these emails. These people were writing with intense frustration about what procrastination had done to their lives, about what this monkey had done to them. And I thought about this and I said, well, if the procrastinator system works, then what's going on? Why are all these people in such a dark place? Well, turns out that there's 2 kinds of procrastination. Everything I've talked about today, the examples I've given, they all have deadlines. When there's deadlines, the effects of procrastination are contained to the short term because the panic monster gets involved. But there's a second kind of procrastination that happens in situations when there is no deadline. So if you want to have a career where you want to be a self-starter, something in the arts, something entrepreneurial, there's no deadlines on those things at first because nothing's happening at first, not until you've gone out and done the hard work to get some momentum, to get things going. There's also all kinds of important things outside of your career that don't involve any deadlines, like seeing your family or exercising and taking care of your health, working on your relationship or getting out of a relationship that isn't working. Now, if procrastinator's only mechanism of doing these hard things is the panic monster, that's a problem because in all of these non-deadline situations, the panic monster doesn't show up. He's nothing to wake up for. So the effects of procrastination, they're not contained. They just extend outward forever. And it's this long-term kind of procrastination that's much less visible and much less talked about than the funnier short-term deadline-based kind. It's usually suffered quietly and privately. And it can be the source of a huge amount of long-term unhappiness and regrets. And I thought, that's why these people are emailing and that's why they're in such a bad place. It's not that they're cramming for some project. It's that long-term procrastination has made them feel like a spectator at times in their own lives. The frustration is not that they couldn't achieve their dreams, it's that they weren't even able to start chasing them. So I read these emails and I had a little bit of an epiphany that I don't think non-procrastinators exist. That's right. I think all of you are procrastinators. Now, you might not all be a mess, like some of us. And some of you may have a healthy relationship with deadlines. But remember, the monkey's sneakiest trick is when the deadlines aren't there. Now, I want to show you one last thing. I call this a life calendar. That's one box for every week of a 90-year life. That's not that many boxes, especially since we've already used a bunch of those. So I think we need to all take a long, hard look at that calendar. We need to think about what we're really procrastinating on because everyone is procrastinating on something in life. We need to stay aware of the instant gratification monkey. That's a job for all of us. And because there's not that many boxes on there, it's a job that should probably start today. Well, maybe not today, but sometime soon.
Okay. What do people take away from that in relation to their business and their strategies and implementing their plan? I saw you having a few giggles there, Catherine.
Yes, yes. Oh, it was just so funny, really. It was. But unfortunately, some people are like that, aren't they? Especially when something's really hard.
Yes. Which
but
is
yeah,
what we've just gone through. We've just gone through 2 days of something very hard.
that's right. But
And I'm sure a lot of people have been procrastinating on for a very long time.
mm,
So what was most resonant for you?
I love the calendar of a 90-year-old. That was just visually brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just brilliant. And the thing about business and deadlines, and you're implementing your business plan and deadlines, there is no deadline. Nobody knows. There's no deadline. Deadline would be not paying your taxes, selling it, or dying. That's it. There's no deadline. You create your deadline, and you create how you're going to make some time to implement your plan and how you're going to counteract that instant gratification monster and plan out the time to make what you want to happen actually happen. Lisa, I saw you nodding a bit. What resonated? How did that relate to your business and your procrastination and implementing your plan? Unmute, unmute.
I relate to that. I have deliverables, and most of the ones that involve public reporting, I would make them easily. But there are all the little things that just, you know, unless there's a specific deadline or a product or something, you know, they just don't get done.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I mean, I have a schedule. It's sitting behind me. I don't do it. I've got an electronic one that's really nice and pretty and colourful. I don't do that either.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more, I need to put in place, I don't know, something where it's a hard, you know, like it's either a target or something, a review, or, you know, break down my work into smaller bits that are deliverable. But I don't know whether that, I still don't know whether that will work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think seeing the number, maybe that's just seeing in terms of the business management side of it, seeing how much work I have to generate. Yeah, maybe that will help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And getting that plan out of your head,
yes,
those goals, and relating them to your numbers and the strategies.
Yeah.
Is really key to you doing it. But the next step is you actually implementing it, and that's why, you know, it's important to understand that now that you've spent 2 days creating this amazing plan, and I'm addressing everyone. I'll put you on mute, Lisa, because you're a little doggy. It's really important for you not to procrastinate. It's really important for you to implement that plan, because you could just say, oh yeah, that was all too hard and I'll go back to work, and feel like you're a spectator in your own work, and you'll feel like your business is running you instead of you running your business. And then it'll come to 3 months' time and you'll think, oh gosh, I haven't really gone and done any of that yet, have I? And then it's all too much, and then you might not touch it again. But that's the you know, that old procrastination thing. There's no deadline, and so understanding how you're actually, you know, going to implement it and when you're going to implement it is key to actually making sure that it happens. So some of the things here, when we look at it, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to share my screen again. Share screen. So some of the things to be aware of. Can everyone see my screen again? Yep. So what we've basically done is we've lined our dreams and our vision with our goals, and then we've got our plan now of how we're going to do it, and we've got our actions. Putting them in the calendar is key. Putting that 3 hours aside is key. If you want to give yourself more accountability, more opportunity for success, I would encourage you to work with a coach. because that's going to give you more butt kicking and more accountability, whether you're working with in a group program or one-on-one or whatever you're doing. That will guarantee you to have more implementation and more impact. Really important. If you're wanting to increase your golf, having a coach, you're going to get there better, rather than just do a plan on how to increase your golf and then not work on it. The next thing is keep them visible. This might help with you, Lisa. I like to put my quarterly plan up there, and I like to have it somewhere visual. So make sure that plan is visual. You can print out a one-day plan from the platform. So have someone accountable, whether it's a business buddy, whether it's your coach, whether it's Paul, whether it's me, whether it's your father, your son, whoever it is. Get that visibility to stay on track with your goals, so that you know what are your top goals for the year, what are your top goals for the quarter, what are your number targets, what are the strategies, so that you're just front of mind. This is what I'm working on. Have I put time aside this week to work on that? For myself, I always get clear of what I'm doing for the year and the month, and then I break that down to the week and how that's going to directly impact what I want to achieve. The next thing there to help is very, very, very carefully decide what are your milestones you're going to measure. Everyone's milestones will be different in the business. So what are the milestones you're going to measure? Is it your conversion rate? Is it how many leads? Is it how many programs you've got? What are the ones, what are the checkpoints and measures that are going to tell you, yep, you're on track. You're on track to getting there. You're on track. Just like when you get into the Google app and it tells you you're on track to getting to your destination. What are your milestones of your business? And determine what they are and have them up and celebrate them. You know, I love working with clients who've never done goals, never done tracking, never done accountability before. When they start to hit goals and we celebrate, it's like, oh my gosh. Paul had a lady last workshop. She'd been stressing over a goal, and then in the workshop, she realized she'd already achieved it and she didn't even know. And she was there was this lawyer that was stressing over not achieving a goal. And when we did the numbers, Paul realized with her that she'd achieved it, which was brilliant. And she didn't even know. Wasted an excuse for a cocktail. I don't know. Anyway, so make sure you know how you're measuring your goals. Next one is stay open to change. You know, 9 o'clock last night when I'm just hopping into bed. Okay, right, it's Zoom tomorrow. What? Show goes on. We're going to do it. We're going to make it happen. It's going to be great. Stay open to change. I've seen business models change overnight because they've had to. Product groups change overnight. Delivery systems change overnight. Open to change all the time. And that's why we love being able to log into the system and play with the numbers, see how they change. So make sure you adopt that attitude of being open to change, because that's one thing that we can't change, is that life is always changing. The other thing that is really cool is listening to other people's goals. And that will help you to achieve your plan, because if you can help, as Zig Ziglar said, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And that's why being with like-minded people for a couple of days like this is really powerful. Because we've heard everyone's goals, they're all different, but they're all sort of the same. We're all wanting to achieve something and make a difference and proactively change our lives and the clients that we deal with. So learn about other people's goals, because the more you help other people, that law of reciprocity comes back. You will get help in the meantime. So be open to that. So over the next 7 days, what I want everyone to do is tidy up all their loose ends that they've got. And Paul and I will reach out to you to book a date to print your plan, review your plan, help you finish off your plan and deliver your plan. Whatever you need help with, we will ensure you get to your finished, happy place of finishing your plan at this point in time. So we will make that time and we will help you to make sure that your plan is finished. That's our role, and we will do what it takes. So thank you from us, trusting you to go through the journey. It's an amazing pleasure and an amazing honour to help people step up in their, you know, perspective of where their business can go and create a plan for success. I find it really exciting to see the opportunities and see the lights go on in people's heads. So before we finish up, now I will stay in this Zoom to help people tidy up any loose ends, and for the session, the people that missed the first 10 minutes, I will finish up with them. But I'd like to have people's BFOs of the last couple of days. So if we can just take a couple of minutes to write down our top 3 learnings or blinding flashes of the obvious of this last 2 days. And then I would like to share them, and then I'll stay in to finish up and help anyone who's got any last questions and the ones who missed the first session. And as I said, we should be finished by somewhere between 4:30 and 5. But if we can just take a few minutes to just think about and write down your top learnings from this whole experience of going through the whole planning process. And the planning platform you've just been through is such an in-depth planning process that there's a lot to think about. So just think about your top 3 takeaways from this journey about your business. So who's ready to share first? Rick, you're next to me. What's been your biggest takeaways, learnings from this challenging journey?
Biggest one was, and I just wrote it down when you were talking now, just on your last little bit there, is hold myself accountable and create realistic targets that I can set end dates to, so that I can, so like you was just saying about procrastinating, not having a target time on which I need to complete something for, is set myself those targets, which are realistic, actually put a date on them. And then you, again, another one I just wrote down, one of your notes that you made was make it visible. So just having it here in my office, those, if I set 3 things for each, whatever it might be, each quarter that I want to achieve out of each quarter, and it's there every day.
Yep, and share them with your team. I mean, you know, our team, we all know what our targets are for the month and for the week of what we want to achieve.
Yeah. So that's another one, is setting, you know, with the team so they know what we're trying to achieve.
Yes.
Give them targets that they can try and achieve.
Yeah, it's so much fun celebrating, and so much fun high-fiving, and other people being able to keep you as the owner on the track. Renee's forever saying, Suze, what are you doing going off on this tangent? Remember, we're focusing on this. Focus, because often as entrepreneurs, we very much get distracted by all of other things. Whereas when we've got a team to help us focus, they can go, remember that was the goal. Come on, focus.
Yeah.
I'm forever going, I've got a new idea, guys. And they're like, yeah, okay, Sue, but remember this was the goal. We were doing this. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm over that now. On to the next bright, shiny object.
Next exciting thing.
And that's a common syndrome that business owners have. It's known as bright, shiny object syndrome. Is they get caught away by all these bright, shiny objects and don't actually focus on any one thing. That follow one course till successful, the acronym for focus, I always have that mantra going on in my mind, because I get very much caught up in the bright, shiny object syndrome. And I'm always like, focus, follow one course till successful, focus.
Yeah,
So
definitely something.
Now, have you got to where you wanted to get to? Have you got your numbers pretty good and your goal
Yes,
strategy?
there's still tweaking there. I'm going to go back to it
Good.
tonight, and
Okay.
it's Tour de France is on, so it's
Okay.
I'll
Good.
watch that and do some work at the same time.
Good.
So
So do you
I'll do
need
that.
any more help once we finish shortly? Do you need any more help to stay back today or not?
No, I know where I'm going. Yeah,
Good. Great. Okay. Well done.
there
All
will
right.
be stuff, I'm sure, but yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Well, we will work out a date to catch up, and we will make sure it gets finished over the next week or two. Aaron, what's been your biggest takeaway?
The biggest takeaway has been to look at the numbers in terms of employing future staff next year or two. It is really about looking at how I charge, how I cost, and again having that longer plan, not just a bit ad hoc. So just keep an eye on the ball. As you just said before, too, the whole shiny objects and pretty pictures, they can be distracting for me. So if it's in front of you, then well, you can't hide from it. You can't pretend you can't see it, and there's no excuses. So
good. And getting that model
just seeing
right.
it come together.
Yep. Well done. Getting that model right is key, which I think is great that you identified that first. Getting the numbers right is key. So that's
employing more people, just down to that revenue and seeing it grow, playing ahead. Yeah, that was a big thing. Great.
Awesome. Well done. Really, really pleased. Who's next to me on the other? Belinda, you're next. Belinda, what's been for you? And I know, you know, it's challenging for everyone going through this. It's I'll unmute you. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about it because to know what to actually dissect or know what to actually ask or look into is something that I didn't know. I've got a lot of information, but it's not the information that we need or that you need, you know. So I'm excited about to know what's under all the business. Yeah.
Yes, and I encourage you to work with Paul with Paul's, and he's a numbers guru. Work with Paul to help you to unpick them and to get that right. You know, because that's going to be really instrumental into the implementation of your plan.
Yeah, because you concentrate on whether your bills are going to be paid and you're getting the money in. You get that, no worries. Then you think that's it. You know, as long as that comes in and that goes out, that's all we seem to worry about. But it's not like that, is it?
It's so much more than that.
Oh, God.
So that's good. Well done. And so how close are you to finishing?
Pretty close.
Okay.
Just a couple more lots of want to go over it. Have a look.
Good. No worries. That's great. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're excited. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
That's good.
I didn't think I would be, but I am.
Good. There's huge opportunities, massive opportunities.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Well done. Mark and Gary, you're next. You're under Belinda for me. So what would you say has been your biggest learnings? And well done on you, Mark, for being here. I wish all of us thought we were here when we were 20. I wish I did.
That's right. Thank you. It's definitely a lot to take in, and I need a good 48 hours to process everything.
Yeah, it is a lot.
But I seen there's a lot behind your vision.
Yes.
So and that's what obviously the 2 days is about. But like you say, I think we're scratching on the surface, but it's good to get it down. The big ones there was just your expense versus revenue. That was a big takeout because I did it a few times there, and I knew it wasn't to the real world as was put in it, but you'll realise that you're missing a few things. So you would find it, keep updating your data, and all of a sudden it starts looking to how it is, and so you can now see where there's opportunities, I suppose, especially on the expense side of it.
Absolutely.
And
how close are you to finishing?
Yeah, not too bad finishing. But I had a big list on just on the strategies, and I could see there was a lot there, like I was saying, there was quite similar, but they all can be just a little improvement. That should make a big difference in, yeah, the conversion of the improvement on the conversion rate. And because it was the old style where you throw a lot of money at marketing, but if you're not converting, then you're really putting it in the right area, not in the right area. You know?
Yep, you can increase your average dollar sale by 10%.
That's right.
And that will just make 10 times better difference, or increase your conversion rate, or change your average dollar sale or your margin. There's so many things you can do before you just chuck more money at marketing.
That's right. And then I think you might have mentioned today where you really got to put yourself in the customer's shoes and work out why they would go with you, and then work on that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many opportunities before you need to throw money on marketing.
Yeah, and the last bit there was just obviously be accountable, like say, lock yourself in for those dates that you want to give yourself an action.
Yes.
Because it is too easy, because no one really holds you accountable. You've got to do it, because you can keep pushing dates out forever and a day, but you're just waiting for that panic monster to come through.
And he won't come as a business owner. It'll come when the tax is due, or
That's
when
right.
the receivers are knocking at the door, and we don't want that. That's when the panic monster comes in.
Yes.
So it's up to you to build those deadlines.
No, so I just had a quick talk with Mark. Even though we start at the week, you're on the whiteboard, you have all your actions, but we realise maybe we'll do it the Thursday before, so we know what the week's looking like ahead of us, and be disciplined about that. So
Absolutely. Have those start of day meetings, start of week meetings to get clear on what success looks like.
yeah, but a lot there.
Great, fantastic. Chris, what's your biggest takeaways, learnings from the last 2 days, looking at everything we've gone through?
Just learning on what all the things I don't know, really.
Yeah.
Trying to, like I said before, trying to fill in all the gaps and finish this.
Yeah.
This up to get all the details in where I can.
Yeah.
But some extra help would be appreciated to finalise, or at least getting on the right track for a few spots where I've missed.
Yep, I'm here. So I'll stay in here afterwards to help, and then we can book a time to catch up. So that's fine. So your biggest learning is that understanding of you now don't know what you don't know. There's a lot of stuff that you realise that you didn't know, and now you're knowing that you're wanting to learn more about it.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. And that just has a lot more opportunities available for you.
Yeah.
Okay,
great. Fantastic. Catherine?
Yes. Okay, well, there is a lot to take in, obviously.
Yeah.
So yesterday we put down our goals for clarity and vision.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely a lot of clarity and vision has happened,
Mm-hmm.
which is good.
Mm-hmm.
And the software is good. I like that. It's has a lot of attention to detail and a lot of extra techniques I haven't learned in the past, which assists. And it's good that everything has become tangible, visual, if that makes sense. Because in my head, I sort of knew where it was. I wasn't sure where to go, but now I know what was in my head is true.
Mm-hmm.
And I've realized when I initially set up the event business, I had a completely different structure. And I don't know where I went off track.
Yeah.
Or why I did, but maybe it's best I go back to that and work on that again.
I love that. That's great.
Yes.
That's really good. And so how far off are you finishing for today? You've got your numbers in your pre-NL, aligning with your goals, aligning with your outcomes and strategies of how you're going to do that.
The income section and packages and that has to all be redone. I have to, there's a lot I'm going to I'm just going to scrap a whole lot.
Okay.
I have to create new ones, but I actually have to ring up potential suppliers and things for prices and sort of look more for demand and what clients want. And so I can't do that this afternoon.
So you know what you're working on. Great.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Really good. That's fantastic. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you. Lisa, what about you? What's your big takeaways after looking back at the whole 2 days of what we've been through? Can you unmute? Thank you.
Yep. Mine is I just need to plan my workflow. One of mine is plan my workflow better, and so renegotiate some of my contracts with my existing client. But I also think a big one for me is at the moment, I do a lot of extra work to lift a lot of quality aspects of it, and possibly just working more with the clients to make sure that they understand, you know, that their staff need to take on more skills as well, so that I have more time. I did like like having all the presentations of all the graphs and the charts. I mean, it's the first time I've ever seen financials. I really don't do much with financials until now, so that's been good. And I need to pay more attention with, you know, how small changes. I was doing that, making small changes and how they can make like a big difference. And I was surprised at the end when I started reducing my time on, you know, the initial projects, how I could still make quite a reasonable profit.
Absolutely.
By bringing someone else in.
Brilliant. So
yeah, but I think I will have to do something like get a visible workflow actually in my client's team site, so that they can actually see here are all the deadlines for all the components to our work.
Yeah.
And then when they don't meet that, instead of me working really hard to make it up, their management will see it.
Yep. Brilliant.
Yeah, the visible workflow.
Fabulous. And so have you finished your numbers and strategies? Have you got to where you wanted to get to today?
No, I've still got more to work on the strategies.
Okay.
I haven't found what my sector number is. I've been looking now through Australian companies, just trying to find a company that does similar work to I do, to see what sector they're in. Okay. I haven't done that bit either, but numbers, yes, are done.
Good. And you've got your strategies you're working on too.
I've got some of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I haven't scheduled them.
Okay. All right. That's important. So to stop that procrastination happening.
Yeah.
That's important. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Who's next? You're next there, John. What's been your big takeaways over the last couple of days?
I think identifying the method of manufacture. I have a few different methods. I can just supply the panels. I can supply and install. It's just a different amount of the whole job, yeah, that I can supply. And I found that I was doing the same as another company and matching their price and not being as successful because they are a bigger company and are dealing with bigger volumes. And I'm thinking, when I looked at the numbers, I could see that, well, it's pretty hard for me to make the weekly amount in my current form. So identifying what works for my company and what just scrapes through for my company was valuable. Just the method of what I should be looking at as a job.
Yeah.
How much of the job I should be looking at doing.
Perfect. That aligns with your goals and aligns with you. And just a great factory for your office. You want to have your numbers and goals aligned with what you want, not with anybody else, because you're unique and you have a good service. So people will value that.
I mean, I like the idea of just doing workshop work, but I got to change my model a bit more, got to get a bit bigger and have people working for me for that to work for my company.
Yeah.
So it was a bit more clarity about what is working, what's not working.
Good. Clarity is key. And so how far are you off from finishing for today? Are you nearly there, or do you want to stay in and have a bit more of a hand?
I think I've had enough for the day.
That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
That's fine. Well,
I know I got some big days for the rest of the week trying to catch up on the Monday and Tuesday. Yeah.
That's fine. We'll work out a time to catch up, and we'll make sure you get
Definitely.
it.
I would like to have a
right.
bit of one-on-one time with, with you or Bevan or whoever.
Yep. We will make sure we get it right. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
All right. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Congratulations for getting yourself out there and getting a plan for these new different business models. So that's good.
Yeah.
Well done. Tanya, how are you? What's your big takeaways after we've worked out your brain for 2 days non-stop?
Yeah, for me, I think yesterday and today, I've figured out it doesn't have to be a big plan. You have to keep it simple.
Yep.
And keep it visible for you to be able to see it and go with it.
Yep.
Another thing was I realized if I want to succeed, I think I've got to have my plan in place and go for it. I can't just have the plan and not do anything about it, which is what I think has been happening all along. For one, I don't know. I don't even know whether I should be saying I had a plan. It was one of those things. It was in my head, which I thought was a plan, but it was
That's a wish.
Yes.
Not a plan. It's just a wish.
And then with the numbers and stuff, of course, it was all over the place. I didn't know where I was, frankly speaking. So it's a matter of knowing your numbers, review your numbers, tweak it, and then go again.
Yeah, absolutely. And keep checking in. Checking in with your numbers, just like you check in with your Google Maps with how are you going to get there, or how far are you from your goal, and ahead of time, behind time, where are you at? And as Paul will confirm, let's say 95% of business owners that have a plan, track on it, and actually act on it, magically, they achieve their goals. I know it's weird, but they do, because it happens where energy goes, that's where the results flow. And if you're putting energy into it, and that's where the results are going to come. So I encourage you to speak with Paul to get those numbers finished, so that you are very clear on how simple it is for you to achieve them. But well done. You went through some hard times today, I know, especially when you were going, I don't understand. So well done.
It was negative, so yeah.
Good on you. Okay, lucky last, Damien, you're at the bottom of my screen in the middle. So I've just read in order of the screen. So what's been your biggest learning? This has been a huge couple of days for you. What's been the biggest takeaways?
I think it's good to get it all out your head and on paper so you can see where everything is.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest eye-opener is to sort of, for me, to spend some time, say 3 to 4 hours a week, to chip away at it and get things done, rather than have stuff out there which is always on the to-do list and you never get to it.
Yes, absolutely. And there is a method. There is a method. You've got your goals, you've got your outcomes, you've got your strategies. There is a method, and then there is an actual priority order of how that's going to go too. So you've got your quarter one strategies. It's not difficult to put that time aside to do them.
Yeah.
It's just you have to do it.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well done. Well done. Did Paul or Bevan, our amazing gentleman in the background supporting and helping and encouraging and cheering, any takeaways or any final words before we sign off, and then those that want to stay and finish up can stay?
I just think it's always amazing that you get to the last session like we've just had now, and everyone's done two solid days, and it's all new and it's all different, and it's working their brain over time, and everyone's pretty well exhausted, but you can see the real glow in their faces that they've found a different way forward to take their business somewhere else. Yeah,
absolutely. I can feel the potential.
Yep.
And the excitement that people have now realised in their business. We've now uncovered potential that we were once not potentially aware of.
Yep.
And that's exciting because you can feel it, you can see it. Even on Zoom, I can see it in people's faces. I can feel it.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely, it's there. So awesome, guys. Well done.
I'm excited. Bevan, did you want to add anything before we say goodbye and do a whoosh?
Yeah, just on the last, just on that last point that we made, the three things I've always thought vision is really important, which is, you know, people need to have a big picture of where they're going with their business, and setting goals is important. But the one thing that's come out more to me in the last 2 days is that we also need to be really aware of all the small details as well. And I think sometimes business owners get stuck in the middle of those two things. They either forget about what's their big vision about where they want to end up, or they lose track of all the little details. And the challenge, I guess, out of this whole process is that we really got to be on top of all of those things. And that makes it even harder. But if we are focusing on success and we want to get there, we've got to take control of all of that and take responsibility that those details need to be looked at. And I guess what I've seen in businesses that have been successful, the business owner knows that he's not or she's not brilliant at everything. So you just get people around you who are good at stuff that you're not good at. And if you don't like details, get people around you who do like details. If you're not good at whatever it is, marketing, get a marketing person. Whatever it is that because none of us are great at everything.
No,
get good people around you. I think that's something that I would have taken away from this 2 days. Yeah.
And FYI, Renee's taken. She's attention to detail. Don't even ask. All right. Well, look, well done, everyone. I was going to say it's beer o'clock, but it's Tuesday, so I suppose I wouldn't really have a beer on a Tuesday, so I better not say that. I've got a protein shake here. But well done to everybody, and we will. Those that are working with Paul will be in contact to catch up and finish off your plan with any finer details in print. And those that are working with me and Bevan, we will set times aside. So we will do a final whoosh, and then those that missed the first session or want to stay and have a bit more help, stay in here. So we'll have to do a seated whoosh. So we've got in our hand all the crap. We're going to drop all the new learnings here, and we're going to lock them in with a kick all the old things out and lock the new ones in. 1, 2, 3, whoosh! Well done, everyone.
All right, thank you.